Give you a warning that I was going to say, let's talk Texas. What happens is when I'm teaching the California information in the California principles class, a lot of people ask me, am I going to do any other states? There's a lot of people on YouTube who are saying that they're doing the exam prep and that they're state specific. And then our clients actually take their classes and they can't pass the California exam. So what I started doing was going through the principles course for California. Every so often, we tell you all the requirements to take your classes in California. And in California, it's 3 classes. They're each 45 minutes. I'm sorry, I just lied. I'm screwing up because I'm live. They're each 45 hours. And it's first principles, practice, and then an elective. And then you sign up with the California Department of Real Estate to take your exam. But today we're talking Texas. And thank you for joining me. Thumbs up, of course, always, right? And so I was just going to start out of this really great real estate book right here. I was going to start out of that, and I started highlighting everything that you need to know to get your real estate license in Texas. And I started going through their principles book. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to try to get my license in every state that I teach at, because you have people online that are teaching that have never gotten their license in any state, and they're teaching just general information, and they're guaranteeing you that you're going to pass, and then you don't, and you take the test over and over and over. So what I did was I started researching Texas and how I get my license in Texas, just like anyone else. Now realize, if you have your license in another state, you can contact the state that you're looking to get your license in and ask them if there's any reciprocity. I love that word. Meaning, if I have my license in California, what do I have to do to get my license in Texas or Florida? And of course, somebody calls me right in the middle of my live class. You can't, you know it? It's life, right? So we're going to do a class every single day except for Saturday and Sunday. So Monday through Friday, and we're going to start at 10:30. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through different states and how you get your license in those states. So I started doing my research in Texas, and I called this really great, I was reading this book, and it says Principles of Real Estate, and the book is by the Real Estate Business School. Got that? Real Estate Business School. They're also known as the Austin Institute of Real Estate. And I got to tell you, I talked to Katrina, and I got to shout out to her because she was so helpful and so nice, and you can totally tell that they care about their students. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for different schools in different states that actually care about their students like we care about our students. So I found their website inside this book, and their website is info at buildmyrebusiness.com. Now this is for Texas, okay? And so I wanted to start this and do it all the time at 10 o'clock, but I had such a great time talking to Katrina, and Katrina was telling me about everything that you need to know, and her website has everything you need to know to get your license in Texas. The only thing, I haven't had a chance to go through the whole website, and the only thing, and I asked her, you know, if I already have my license, what do I do? And she said, go ahead and call, and it's called the TREC. So in California, it's the DRE, and in Texas, it's the Texas Real Estate Commission. So they're a commission, and in California, it's a department. Now, the other states that I'm going to look at, I had a list of them. I'm going to do Florida. So California is number 1, Texas is number 2, and number 3 is Florida. And we're going to get into Arizona, and I'm trying to look where I wrote my notes, but of course, do you think they're anywhere close by? So let's start with what you have to do for Texas. So in Texas, the easiest way to find out information is go to this great school. Their website tells you exactly what you have to do. So how do you get your license in Texas? It's 5 steps. And it's number 1, enroll and complete in a state-approved pre-licensing course. Now, I got to tell you, in California, it's only 3 classes. In Texas, it is, I believe it's 6. I was reading about it. It says, to start your journey in real estate, Texas requires 180 hours of real estate pre-licensing courses. So it's 6 30-hour courses. That's what you have to take. So first thing you're going to do is enroll in these courses. Let me scroll down because I have all the information in front of me and I want to share it with you. And the classes you have to take are Number one, of course, principles of real estate. Just like California, you have to know the principles of real estate. Number two, you have a second principles of real estate. So you have a first class and a second class. The first one's number 121 and the second's 122. Then you have to take laws of agency. So in California, you don't have to take real estate law. And I'll tell you, in California, that real estate law class is really hard. And in Texas, it's laws of agency, and it's class number 1151. Now, I don't know if the classes are different in different schools, but this is this school, and they seem to be a really great school with a lot of great information. So as I'm doing my research, I made sure that I called the school and asked them questions. And then the next one is promulgated contract forms, and then laws of contracts, and real estate finance, which I find really amazing that in Texas, their real estate agents have to take a finance class. And then they have the exam preparation class if you want to take it. So those classes are all a lot of information. And I started reading their book and highlighting it, which we're going to start tomorrow, the classes in real estate in Texas. And it says tips. Break up your study into modules so that they're manageable, because even with any state that you're studying, whether it's California, Texas, Arizona, Nevada, whatever state it is, or Florida, what happens is they all have different rules and they all have different things that you have to know that are quirky. For instance, when I was starting my studies with just this book alone, the first book, I learned that it was called the Texas Real Estate Commission. The other things that I learned is that things are similar. So there's a lot of similar things, but a lot of different things. So stuff that you're going to learn in the beginning of the Texas class is, let's see, relate the many opportunities of the world of real estate, like what you can do. Hi, how you doing, Maria? I'm doing Texas. And you know what? It never hurts to have a Texas license, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get licenses in all the main states first, the ones that most people are getting their license in, and then I'm going to continue on states that people request. So if there's a state that you want to learn about on how to get your license, what you do is you just put it in my comments. You know how I teach. I teach super easy so that you understand everything I'm teaching. So once we go through the Texas information, we're going to describe education committee. So they have an education committee and what they do. We're going to define the characteristics of real estate. We're going to list professional organizations for real estate. So we all know the National Association is called NAR, the National Association of Realtors. And you have to make sure you learn how to say it before you become one, because a lot of people say realtors with an A in there. No A in there. It's realtors. Got it? National Association of Realtors. We're going to distinguish the difference of who can sell real estate with or without a license, and explain the differences between an independent contractor and an employee. So we're going to be talking about a lot of different things. The classes I'm going to try to keep to 15 minutes. So wherever I am at 15 minutes, we're going to cut off. But I'm going to start with Texas now. I already have the first, I want to say it's the first 6.5 classes of California. So if you're studying for your California license, you just go and you look for the first class of real estate principles for California. And now tomorrow we're going to start the Texas information. So like I said, the most important part is finding a school that has the best information and that actually care about you. So the one that I said at the beginning of the video, they're great. You call them, they answer the phone, they answer your questions. And Katrina was amazing. She was, even if there was something that she didn't know, she knew where to direct me, because being a broker in California, my question to her was, what do I have to do if I'm already a broker in another state? And her advice was to call the Texas Real Estate Commission and ask them. And she said that they're really helpful. And so let's see, is there anything else I can tell you? I would go to their website, and if I were you, super important. If you're going to get your Texas license, they are having a sale. And their sale, you use promo code. You just go on their website like I told you to. You use the promo code that's called thank you. It says thank you in big bold letters, TREBS, and you get 40% off, which is roughly somewhere, I want to say between $200 and $300. So because you have 6 classes, it might be a little more expensive, but you don't have to get the hard books. You can get them in PDFs. and make sure that you're able to just follow along easily. So break up all your study habits so that you're studying a little bit of a time, because it's a lot of information that you're learning. And once you get your classes done, you register to take your examination. Well, what's interesting, let me scroll down, is you can take your real estate exam from Texas. She's saying, now I got to call and double check it, but she was saying that sometimes you can take it from another state online, which I think would be amazing, because I've already checked into North Carolina. And North Carolina, if I want to get my North Carolina real estate license, I got to fly out to North Carolina, stay there for a minimum of a week, take the class that's a week long, and then take the exam. So different states do different things. Now, there's also a national exam. And I asked about the national exam with the Texas lady, and what she said is, you don't really know which questions are the Texas exam or the national exam. So I'm going to dig into the national exam and get more information on it. But a lot of states, what they do is it's not just the national exam. So with California, you take the California exam and that's it. There's no national exam questions in there. With other states, you might just have to take the national exam. Or like in Texas, you take the national exam. Well, you actually take the state exam, the Texas state exam, but it also has national exam questions in there. So there's lots of information to learn if you want to get your real estate license in multiple states. If you're a loan officer looking to get your real estate license, you usually have to take your national loan officer licensing with the NMLS, and then you have to take the state specific tests. So if you want a state and you don't want to research it yourself, I'm doing the research. And if you want a specific state, put it in my comments and I'll do that state for you also. So the one thing I wanted to say is, of course, you're always going to have to get your background check and your fingerprints done. So that's really important to know. So tomorrow we're going to start the classes, and we're going to start at 10:30, and we're going to go for 15 minutes. If you have any questions at all, or you have a specific state you want me to talk about, feel free to put it in our comments and I'll get back to you, and I'll let you know if I can get into that state and get the information for you. It just depends if I can find helpful people, because this morning, I'm telling you, got to shout out one more time, the Real Estate Business School. They were so helpful. It was great. And we're going to chat real estate, but we also want you to know, are you ready? That we do our exam prep. We're doing it again this coming weekend. So this coming weekend from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday and on Sunday, we're going to be going through our 16 hours of passing the California exam. And I will also go through different exam prep schools for the different states. So let us know which state you're interested in, and we'll be here to help you. So just go into the link in the description box below, and you'll be able to hear more information about all the different states and your real estate license. Thank you for watching, and let me know if you have any questions. Bye.